They didn't come to you with open hostility. That would have been too obvious. They came with smiles. They came with what looked like friendship. They said they liked your energy, your mind, your vision. They called you one of us before you even knew what was meant. That's how toxic people work. They recruit with warmth, because direct control rarely works on people with a spine. They offer you a seat at their table, but that seat is always placed where they can watch you, measure you, keep you from standing up without their permission. At first, you might think it's an opportunity, a way in. But soon you see the cracks. Their world runs on rules you didn't agree to. Rules that look harmless until you realize they exist to shrink you. They don't want you as an equal. They want you as a resource. They'll want your ideas without giving you credit. They'll want your loyalty even when they betray you. And the moment you say, no, they'll try to convince you that you're ungrateful, that you've turned your back on people who took you in. This is the first truth you need to understand. Toxic people only take you in so they can keep you under their thumb. The only way to truly win is to never be owned. They will call that rebellion. But it's not rebellion, it's self-respect. Toxic people feed on reaction. It's their currency. If they can make you angry, they can paint you as the problem. If they can make you defend yourself, they can twist your words and tell the story their way. The moment you join their game, you've already lost, because they control the rules. They will poke at your insecurities, test your patience, even pretend to be hurt, just to see if you'll break character. And here's the trap. If you explode, they'll say, "See, this is why we didn't trust you." If you stay silent but look bothered, they'll call you cold, detached, selfish. The goal is never truth. The goal is to keep you on the back foot, constantly proving your worth. The way you take over is simple. You stop playing entirely. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop reacting to the bait. Silence becomes your weapon. Stillness becomes your power. And here's the beautiful thing. Toxic people have no strategy for someone who doesn't give them fuel. Without your reaction, they starve. To truly take over, you need to set rules for yourself before they set rules for you. This is where most people fail. They enter toxic circles thinking they can keep their boundaries and still be liked. It never works. In those environments, the moment you protect yourself, you're the enemy. So you set your rules early. Decide what behavior you will never tolerate. Decide how much time and energy you're willing to give. And never explain those rules to the wrong people. Because if you tell toxic people where your boundaries are, they won't respect them. They'll test them. This is why you must lead with action, not announcements. Show your standards by how you move, not by what you say. When they try to cross the line, enforce your boundary without drama. Don't argue. Don't negotiate. Just act. This doesn't just protect you. It teaches them that you cannot be shaped by pressure. And that's when the power shifts. You go from being someone they think they can use to someone they have to think twice about crossing. Guilt is their favorite weapon. They will remind you of every good thing they've ever done for you, as if it was an investment you now owe them for. They'll say, "After everything I've done," in moments where you refuse to bend. They'll try to make you feel like you're abandoning them when you choose yourself. But here's the truth. Real care has no strings attached. Real friendship doesn't require you to sacrifice your peace. Real love doesn't punish you for saying no. So when they try to guilt you, remember this. The guilt is fake, but the cost of giving in is real. Every time you give in to guilt, you teach them that all they need to do to control you is remind you of the past. And toxic people are masters at rewriting the past in their favor. The cure is clarity. You don't argue with their version. You don't explain your side over and over. You simply live in a way that makes their version irrelevant. When you choose peace over permission, the guilt starts to lose its grip. You have to ask yourself the question most people avoid. If I stopped giving them what they want, would they still want me around? The answer will tell you everything. If they disappear the moment you stop being useful, they were never your people. They were customers dressed as friends, They were debt collectors disguised as family. That's the kind of truth that stings at first, but heals you in the long run. Because once you see it, you can stop trying to earn love from people who were only ever keeping score. And here's where the Joker in me would tell you, that realization is not sadness, it's liberation. You get to walk away without chains. You get to rebuild without their weight on your back. And the best part, you don't have to slam the door. Just stop walking in theirs. You don't owe them an exit speech. You just owe yourself a future. They will disguise control as advice. Toxic people are skilled at making their manipulations sound like care. They'll tell you they're just looking out for you. But if you follow their advice, it always leads to one thing: you depending on them. That's the plan. Keep you close enough to control. Make you feel like you need them to survive. The only antidote is to trust your gut more than their words. If something feels off, it is. If their help always comes with a cost, it's not help, it's leverage. The moment you start making choices for yourself, they will panic. They'll tell you you're making a mistake, that you're not ready, that you're going to regret it. But understand this: those warnings are not about your well-being. They're about their loss of control. You're not the danger to yourself. You're the danger to their system. Consistency is your silent takeover. Toxic people live in chaos because chaos is where they have the advantage. They thrive in situations where nothing is stable because instability makes people desperate, and desperate people are easier to control. But if you build structure in your own life, routines, goals, habits you refuse to break, they can't reach you. Your consistency becomes a wall they can't climb. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. And here's where the psychology kicks in. Consistency doesn't just protect you, it slowly exposes them. Because when you keep showing up for your life, and they keep showing up with drama, the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. Others will start to see it. They will start to see that you are building while they are breaking. When you remove yourself from their control, they will get desperate. They'll switch tactics. One day they'll be angry. The next day they'll be sweet. One moment they'll guilt you. The next they'll flatter you. They're testing every button they've ever pushed to see if one still works. But here's the truth. The moment you realize you don't need their approval, none of the buttons work anymore. And once they know they can't get to you, they will either leave or try to attack your reputation. Let them. The only people who will believe their lies are the ones who are already looking for a reason to doubt you. Your real allies will see through it. And by the time the smoke clears, you'll be too far ahead for it to matter. The real takeover is not about controlling them. It's about controlling yourself. You control where your time goes. You control who gets access to you. You control how much of your energy is spent on people who actually matter. That's a kind of power no toxic person can stand because it makes them irrelevant. And once you've tasted that kind of freedom, you will never give it up for anyone. You won't just walk away from bad people. You'll rise so far above them that they can't even reach you. That's not just escape. That's victory. And here's the ending they'll never see coming. You don't need revenge. You don't need to prove anything. The fact that you are still moving, still building, still laughing without them, that's the end of the story. They'll replay every moment they had with you, wondering where they lost their grip. They'll realize it wasn't a single moment. It was every small choice you made to put yourself first, every boundary you enforced, every time you chose peace over their chaos. That's the real takeover. When your life becomes so full of your own purpose that there's no longer fits anywhere in it.